Hello everyone, welcome back to Pixel Village and I am Radha Krishnan. Well, this is a familiar setup, isn't it? Well, we did this video a couple of weeks back and we were talking about how to set up a home studio quickly, efficiently. And we spoke about how to set up your key light, use your daylight as your fill light and some props from home and some accessories from home and create an interesting content creation studio at home. And lots of people wrote back to us saying that, it was helpful. And naturally, lots of people want to know how to scale up from there and go to the next level in terms of production values. And that's exactly what we're going to do this time. Well, so we are ready. Nandu, you're ready? Let's keep it here. Right. This is what you need. This is like Santa Claus came a little early today. Well, okay, this is called Litemons. Okay, Litemons. Well, we did some video many years back when Godox introduced Litemons in India, and we thought probably it is light monsters. So light as in light or very light, or monsters is like great power. So probably a lot of power packed in a small form factor. That's exactly what they're going to give. Well, we have 4 lights today. So before I start, let me tell you that we will be doing a Hindi version also, pure Hindi version, for which I'll add a link in the description. Please use the link and go to our Hindi channel and watch that. All right, so this one is the Godox LP400Bi. You know what a bi is? Bi is bicolor, like this light. It can change light from a really warm light to a really cool light. Well, this one is the LP400R. R indicates that this is a RGB light. Now, RGB, of course, comes with more versatility. It can reproduce color in various different ways. We will get into that. And we also have a more powerful LP600Bi and the LP600R. Yeah, as the name suggests, LP means light panel, 400 and 600 denotes the power, 400 is a 36 watt light and 600 is a 60 watt light. Bi denotes bicolor, which is warm to cool light through white, and R denotes, along with the bicolor, you also have an RGB capability. The entire spectrum of colors can be reproduced by adjusting the controls behind the panel, and of course also a remote app. We'll come to that later. This is how it comes inside the box. A nice, interesting carry case, and soft and shockproof. You can carry it exactly. In fact, you should be carrying it like this itself so that, it takes care of the product very well. Well, opens up like this. Some documentation, never lose it because, most of the time, this is something which will really come in handy because there are times when you have to follow certain, routines by pressing this, holding that, and things like that. It's very well explained in this, so never lose it. One. Well, this is the product itself. It's got a nice C-type bracket, right? It holds it up like this, and this is where the stand goes in. I have a mains cord and a power adapter. Nothing else in this box. Let me keep it carefully away, and this is the light. Well, a very nicely made barn door. And this is detachable, okay? So barn doors, of course, for the beginners, let me tell you, barn doors is something that you will use to control the light. You can cut, you can allow the light to spread more by using something called barn door, BARNDOORS, barn doors. Now there is an array of LEDs behind it. Some are for the white light and some are for the warm light, and a combination actually give you complete warm, white or blue or cool light. Okay, so because this is behind a soft panel, it actually emits very soft light. Typically an LED panel emits out hard light. Okay, it creates very hard shadows, but this soft panel prevents that. It softens the light. Now, if you want further softening, of course, you can add another, diffuser in front using a stand. That's something possible, but you can actually use it without any panel to begin with. Okay, so let me close it for safety here. And on the back side, okay, when you look here, big labeling, LP400Bi, and a nice interesting LCD panel here, 2 battery slots, and on-off is right below. Now, you can run it completely from power, or you can use it with battery. And once you switch it on, you of course use the menu and the mode to control the light. And this is to select various options and also to control the power. It's as simple as that, and it is actually very light. Now, talking about the quality, this, like I said, the 400Bi is a 36 watt bicolor light, and it can produce light from 2800K to 6500K. So nice warm to nicely cool kind of light through white light. It also can have about 11 special effects. So using the effects mode, you can get the television feel, broken bulb, lightning, thunder, all those feel, about 11 of them you can get using the effects mode. And it's not very heavy at all, which means you can carry it. Well, you can also do all this back paneling control using a mobile app, which is connected through Bluetooth. And talking about color accuracy, these lights have more than 96 CRI and TLCI values, which means your colors are, it's actually brilliant. Now, let me quickly open the 600 too, and well, there are no indications on the top whether it is Bi or R, so probably you can put a small sticker so that you don't have to open multiple boxes. You don't get confused between the R and the Bi. Well, you have the documentation, you have a light. Now, this is exactly the same design, just that it's a little bigger. Of course, it has to accommodate more LEDs. You have the power cord and the power adapter inside. It doesn't come with batteries, so you have to buy your own batteries. Well, in terms of construction, it looks exactly the same. You have the barn doors, nice branding, and of course, you have the C bracket. Controls are exactly the same. You have the on-off switch here, menu, mode, and your controls and 2 batteries. Slightly more heavier than the 400Bi, and rest everything in terms of construction, the color output, CRI value, everything is exactly the same. But this being a RGB light, this can reproduce lights from 1800K to 10,000K. Okay, so that's great flexibility. So what we have today are 2 RGB lights and 2 bicolor lights, using which I'm going to show you how you can upgrade the look and feel of your YouTube studio. From that point onwards, your studio will start looking extremely professional. Let's get started. So this is the new room that we are going to be setting up today. Okay, so Let me keep my computer. My phone is switched off and it's here. Well, the lights are already here, okay? What is important is to set up the background very nicely. You should create nice shelves like this. Well, get some, nice props. For example, I've got some, cameras, old cameras. This will add a lot of, interesting. Keep them outside like this, That'll create, is there in the frame? Yeah, so let's keep it like this. All right, add some interesting props in the backdrop and make it colorful. Well, of course, we're going to make it even more colorful. Well, like we did in the previous video, we need a key light now. For key light, I am going to be using the 600Bi, okay? So let's get the 600Bi, the panel. Okay, Nandu, pick it and, well, so if I am facing the camera like this, it has to be 45 degrees, right? This is 90, 45 degrees up and tilted towards me. All right. Now, the first thing that you should do is to frame nicely. Okay, so let's frame this. Zoom in a little bit. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Yeah, that's right. You require a proper, kind of foreground, because if you have to, demonstrate products, it should have sufficient kind of space to do that. And you should have enough headroom and sideways. So we in Pixel Village use this side for our, supers. Okay. And this side is probably a logo here. So that is what we use. Now the frame is kind of set. So make sure that the host, in this case, it's me, is on the golden point, like at the 2/3. No, a little more this way. Shift, 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 shift. Yeah, that's more. Little more, little more, little more, little more. That's it. So that's a nice kind of position for the anchor. People light very differently. The way I light is, I like to light the key first, then the fill and the accent lights later. Accent lights are the light that I'm going to light in the backdrop and also probably a rim light. Okay. First thing I need to decide is the aperture that I'm going to be working with. Since I will have demonstrations, okay, and I want everything to be in depth, well, I'd like to use an aperture 4. Okay. Now 2.8 looks very nice. Now if it's just a talking head, use 2.8, which will look very nice. You will get a nice bokeh in the back. But if you have products to be demonstrated, make sure that you are using f4. Now, so f4 will give you decent depth and focus the person's eye, so you'll get decent depth. Now, if you have lots of distance between the anchor and the backdrop, you can use even 5.6, which will allow you more, room to play around in the foreground with your products. Okay, so f4 is something that you should work with. The next thing that you have to decide is your frame rate. We work with 25 frames. Lots of people work with 30, 50 and 60. Well, in this kind of scenario, I don't think 60 is required. We work with 25. It also means less data and less storage. So all your major 3 parameters are done. f4 aperture that you need to work with, 25 frames and 1/50th. Now that's set, you're not going to change it. The next thing that you're going to decide is what ISO that you're going to work with, which you will decide after putting the lights on. Ideally, you should work with the native ISO if you're using a professional gear. Now, if you're using a beginner camera, then try and use a lower ISO. Don't go beyond 800 ISO, 1200 max. But don't go beyond it. But with these lights, you can very comfortably work at very lower ISOs. Okay, so next thing that I need to decide is my key light. I'm going to use the 600Bi for my key light. Where will the key light go? Well, I am sitting straight. This is 90 degrees. I need to pick 45 degrees. And the light should come directionally. I mean, like from top to bottom, like this in a direction onto my face, creating a small kind of shadow. the Rembrandt lighting, the classic Rembrandt lighting should be your first key light. All right, now what is the color temperature? 2800. All right, 2800 is too warm. Let's bring it to 5000. Okay, now my camera is set at 5000. Okay, so which means a 5000 light will show as white light. Okay, so that's white light. What's the ISO that you're working with? 400 is the base ISO. And what's the intensity? 70. So which means you got lots of power left in the light to, kind of add, even work at an even lower ISO. You can reduce the brightness a little more. Okay. Now, ideally, you should be using a light meter to set this. That's how scientifically it is done. Now, I know that many content creators may not have the light meter, hence I'm going to go by how it looks on the screen and also the histogram in the camera. Okay, reduce it a little more. Right, now you got that small shadow here. It's a little bright light, so open the bandos a little. All right, fine. Now let's add some fill, okay, just to fill this a little bit. I'm going to take the 400Bi. Okay, take it there. Bring it here. All right, switch it on. Okay, increase the power. No, not so much. Bring it down, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. Now use the same color temperature. Okay, now this are nicely matched. Now the light is very similar, correct? The key light and the fill light is almost same. That cannot be the case. This is now 56% and this is 30, correct? So ideally this should be bounced. So what you do is take a polyboard, a thermocol, and bounce it off the thermocol. See? Bounce light, it has filled the light. Now switch that off. Correct. You can see the shadow gone dark. Switch it on, please. There you go. Okay. Now it is actually hitting the background as well. So we need to cut that light from the background. So use a cutter to cut that light from the background. Now switch off all ambient light which was in the room first. Now let's add that color wash in the back. Well, let's take the 400R and from that side, because I want to bring in the rim light from this side. So let's use the 400R on that side. There is a color wash, but that color wash is not visible because this key light is hitting the backdrop. So we need to cut this. Now keep playing with the RGB and get a nice color in the back. Keep turning, keep turning. Yeah, that's a nice blue. Just stay there, stay there, stay there. Let's get a nice magenta, rim light. Take the 600R and get that light done. Now the 600R is in position. I'm using an orange light in it. Orange and the teal will work very nicely. We'll fine tune the other lights a little more. Okay. Bring the lights on. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. Now you got a nice rim light. You got a backlight. Now let's reframe. Bring it a little closer. I'm going to reposition myself a little. Okay, nice. Okay. Can we shift that lamp a little inside? That's it. That's it. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, ready. And I think if we add a little warmth in this light, it'll look even better. So let's shift the color temperature from 5000 to 4200. Yeah, nice. Right. Okay. So now you have a color wash on the back. You have a warm key light, you have a nice rim light, and now bounce can be increased a little if you want, or if you want more drama like this, you can keep it like this. Now, let me open my computer. I have some products in front and I can start talking. Now, all these lights can be controlled from your mobile phone using Godox Light app. Simple Bluetooth connection, you pair it with your light and all controls can be done from here. So let me switch off all lights and bring it back up again. I'm going to switch off all lights from my phone itself. Now the way we lit earlier, this is the key light, this is my fill light, and this is my rim light. This is my background color wash. Well, I can also go into that light and also control it. For example, I want to control the color of the rim light. So I can switch to green. I can switch to, you can switch very easily to a set of swatches which is available here, or I can use the color wheel and shift it around and, very, very nicely control the light. So this is where it was. I'm going to leave it like that. I can also control the intensity of that light. Okay, so that's an interesting thing. Let me go to the background color wash and show that again. Okay, so see the color changing in the back, right? See, it changed so very nicely. That's interesting. And I can add the intensity. See, that looks, probably interesting to many. So there you go. And I think the fill can be increased a little. So I'm going to add the fill a little more, and I'm going to probably make it a little more warmer. So I got that. Now I'm going to the key light. I think the key light is a little too bright probably. So I want to reduce it a little. There you go. My fine tuning is done from the phone itself. Wasn't that easy? If I can do it, you too can. With a little bit of practice, I'm sure you will be able to light and create magic with these lights. This is all that you will need for a very long time. Well, in case if you are going outdoors, well, you can pick one of these 600 and go out and, you can do a small fill light, for example, when you do vlogging or reporting from a location or wherever you want. It's so portable. With 2 batteries, you are in business and you can get nice fill light to match, let's say, a good bright daylight. So these are the varied kind of usages that you can have. I'm sure that you agree that the new Litemons light panel series, the 400, 600, I think there is also an 800, is a highly versatile light using which you can do a whole host of things. What we demonstrated here is just one aspect which I think will be greatly useful for our, community. Let us know what you think about this lighting. Okay, feel free to comment. If you liked it, well, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, share, and do all that is possible to spread the word. I'll see you in another video very soon. Bye for now.